I'm sorry I'm running late. And I know I'm running late. I'll tell y'all about it in a minute. So I'm running late. I made this later, so nobody might come on. If you do, we'll talk. If not, I'm going to say what I got to say. And peace out. So late. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm running late. I had, where my spray? Hold on, y'all. Oh, hold on. Glasses done, see? Glasses got sweaty and oily. Y'all see at the bottom how it's clouded? The glasses are sweaty. And so I was in the bathroom when I first got home an hour or so ago. Hey, Tanya, what's up, baby? Ain't seen you forever. How you doing? Hold on, let me live chat. How you doing? Can you hear me? I gotta clean these glasses. It ain't fancy. I'm in my t-shirt and I'm hot. It's like 107 or something degrees up in here. I don't know, it's hot. 107, not in the house, but outside. I got the AC at 80 and it's kicking. I usually do it at 81, 82, but if I've been outside, I make it less. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? How you doing? Texas. Tanya, Texas. Am I right? Tanya, Texas. I know I got two Tanyas. Are you the Tanya, Texas, right? Dallas? Is you my Tanya, Dallas? I can't remember. I think you Dallas. Ain't you Texas? Either Houston or Dallas. You one of them two. The weight's coming off, baby. I'm happy you can see it. I still can't see it. Oh, man. Okay. Tanya. Oh, Tanya, you the one that was in my other Tanya who was in the meeting I told you about the transportation company. You that Tanya, right? That's the Tanya. That's the Tanya I think I got. Okay. I think, girl, these jobs. I like my current company. I like them, but there's stuff going on there too. I done switched teams, lost my manager. Oh, you can tell from my neck. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't see it as much. I know because I'm fat. I don't see it. I can feel it. I can feel the weight coming off. I'm able to walk around the house for the most part without the cane. I'm now able to get back and forth to the car on occasion without the rollator unless I know I'm going to be going for a minute. Yeah, I just came in the house. I actually had set this for 5:45 and then I had to change it. And I was getting ready to say why I was running late. So I was in the bathroom. So I literally I was running the streets this morning. I got up about 11. I didn't get home till about 2:33. I went to get planter pots. I still got my gardening bag. Haven't really done anything, but I got plants that I need to plant. I got a plant bed I'm supposed to put down. I had a friend of mine's son who was supposed to come. Stuff fell through. And I just really haven't rescheduled them. I'm just like, I don't even know if I'm really going to reschedule them. Your offer stands. Offer stands for? Tell me what for. Tell me what for, sweetheart. I can't remember. You got to tell me what the offer was. Whew. But I don't know if you know I'm doing Ozempic. I don't know if you've been following it, but I started Ozempic several months back. So when I first weighed in at the doctor, I was 443, the start of the Ozempic. I had started having problems walking in the house. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. So here's the issue. If I do that, I got to find a rental company. So I got ghetto insurance right now with Little Man Hulk. And the reason is Little Man Hulk is what they consider a high theft car because of all that stuff through TikTok and them little ghetto kids stealing the Kias and the Hyundais. So underwriting for most of the major insurance companies will not insure me. It's like their secondary companies might. Like I had one, I think it was through Liberty Mutual, and they would only insure me through their secondary, and I had to load some app on my phone. No. And you track my driving. So if I don't drive a certain way, you can drop me. No. And I got a CDL too? No, not going through the madness. I'm with some little ghetto company. It's more Latino based owned. And I don't know, they just got purchased or something. I think somebody else took them over. But my insurance is high as Hades. I pay like $260 now. It's between $246 and $260. This new company took over, and I'm paying like $260 a month. It's high, and my deductibles are $1,000. And I don't even think I got rental insurance. I got glass, but so anyway, it is what it is. So even through the company I work for right now, I can't get car insurance. I'm gonna try them again because there's been some changes. So maybe they might be a little more lenient. And since that, hopefully that TikTok stuff has died out. I did the upgrade through the dealership to get whatever upgrade stickers and whatever software update they did, but they still are, at last I checked, they still wouldn't take me. Okay, I'll check it because I'll check it. And which might not be bad. We got, so every building in my group is owned by different people. The one in front of me just got sold. These buttholes, while I'm working, I go to lunch, go to the bathroom, and these jerk offs cut the no, I was taking a break. I think I was taking a break. And they cut the phone cables, which my internet is through the phone company. Oh yes, it's running pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to do tires because I'm seeing it looks like some cracking on the side. I don't drive a lot, so it's probably similar to how Monty was. He didn't drive a lot, but then his tires got bad because they'll dry rot out on the side, right? And Arizona's hot. So when you got hot states, rubber is gonna do its thing. I also don't know how long those tires have been on the car. Physically, they look really good. Tread depth looks good, all of that. But when I was out there kind of looking, and it's an old trucking thing, I look at my tires. So I was checking them and I see what looks to be cracking. I'm going to go to another car wash and wash it because I used to spray that little gloss on it to shine after you got through, doing your car. And sometimes it builds up dirt. So that could be dirt, but I want to go do a good wash, make sure it's nice and clean. And then look at the rubber. If that rubber looks like it's cracking, I'm gonna price the tires. I already took pictures to finally start pricing. I'm at Costco. Costco, I always like going through them, good tires. Walmart, I could afterpay it, doing tires that way, and do tires through them. But I ain't sure. Whatever we do, we're gonna put new ones on the front and the best ones, leave them on the back and then do the back, depending, because tires are probably, with all this tariff crap, they're probably running us, front might just be 300, the back another 300. I'm hoping less than that, but nowadays I'm finding out that price points is different. Like when I went to put that battery in there, I know I love Costco everything, girl. Costco is my friend. I was getting ready to do an Instacart order, got here back home too late, and by the time I sat down and started doing stuff, it was way too late to do Instacart. Anyway, I went to the bathroom today. That's why I'm late, so y'all forgive me. I went to the bathroom, and while I'm in the bathroom, I've got a whole new desk. I work from home 3 weeks of the month, 1 week in office. So I got a whole new desk that I'm supposed to be putting up. That desk's been sitting here almost a month, right? Because I need to get this one cleaned off. I got to get it, pictures of it, get it up on Marketplace. But I also have some things I want to do. So this wall right here, if you hear, it's concrete. So my outer walls to my neighbors and to the streets or to the outside, those are all concrete. Hold on, where are my glasses? I'm trying, look. Old people looking. Hold on. I need some other glasses. Hold on. Let me read that. Hey, P-Pez, what's up? And Peterbilt's, what's up, trucker? You be safe on them roads. Hey, Ozempic, it's been a while for me. How is the Ozempic coming along? How is your new job? I know I'm behind on your topics. Man, hey, homie, I'm just shooting the shiz. I kind of just flow. Sometimes I come in with things like we could talk about the No Kings Day. We might get to that later. I be sitting here, I be like, oh, we Jesus. In my dad's words, it's too much candy for a nickel. What a popcorn. These folks right here, and I tell y'all some story. My dude. But God is teaching lessons if people wish to learn them. But a lot of folks like being in their foolishness. Yeah. And as we all grew up with in the minority community of the black folks, old enough to remember, a hard head makes a soft behind. So people getting whoopings right now. Everybody, I don't care what side of the coin you on. Everybody getting whoopings. A lot of arrogance, a lot of entitlement, a lot of privilege on all levels. I don't give a doggone if you white or something else. I'm just saying, on all levels. I'm going to tell y'all a story a little bit later of something I saw. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Ozempic is doing good. So catch everybody up. Although Tanya, I haven't talked to Tanya in a while either. So catch everybody up. So I'm go back to the Ozempic because I'm old people and I will forget. And if I have word salads, it's because I'm old. I'm getting ready to be 57. June 26th is my birthday. So a couple weeks from now, I'm going to be 57 years old. And I'm now having word salads. Matter of fact, I had talked to my best friend a while back and I noticed she was mixing up some stuff. And I knew what she was saying, but she said something else. I'm like, oh, I don't feel bad now. Because I'll be thinking one thing and say a whole nother one. Knowing that the other thing was what I wanted to say. Word salads. Yeah, buddy. So, the Ozempic, I was 443 at the start. My last weigh-in was about 2-3 weeks back, maybe just under a month. Well, it's been under a month. Or maybe just about a month, and I was 407. And so I had to stop him at the 1 milligram shot because I started having, well, I had been having some stomach issues prior to the Ozempic. And then the Ozempic doesn't help because it has its own side effects. Up until the 1 milligram, I was doing great. The 1 milligram, though, I started experiencing, thank you, Miss Tanya. I started experiencing the, what do you call it? The constipation. So I started experiencing that. Is this freezing, isn't it? Why is this freezing? I hate when it does that. Y'all let me know. It's trying to freeze. And if we have to come in, but it seems like it's freezing and I don't know why. Everything's off, so it shouldn't be freezing. Okay, we ain't gonna move too much. It seemed like it's freezing. Let me know if y'all hear me or if any distortion. Because sometimes I notice the lives are real funky. And I almost want to know if they funky because I mentioned something. I don't be trusting the system nowadays. You mention something that certain folks don't want you to talk about and stuff becomes weird. I'm just saying. Okay, good. So, I started the Ozempic journey. I can tell you the first thing, before the Ozempic started, I was having problems walking. And I hit a point where I would get out of bed and I could barely walk. I knew it was a gout bout, but then it was even something more than the gout, and I knew the weight played a factor. So at this point, I went ahead and said, you know what? Nothing beats a failure but a try. You either going to die from this weight or you going to start trying to deal with it. It's either the weight loss surgery or Ozempic. My issue with the weight loss surgery is because I am on a blood thinner, and it doesn't matter whether I'm fat, whether I'm skinny. I have a clotting disorder. And even when I'm smaller, it is a family inherited disorder from Grumpy's family. Every other person drew the short straw on his mama's side. And I got the short straw at age 29. One of our cousins, Lynette, she started hers at 17. Some of them started even earlier than me. Lynette's mother had clots that hit the brain. She had to have brain surgery to remove clots and lost vision in one eye. I've had 2 pulmonary embolisms and multiple DVTs, okay, prior to being this fat, right? So some people are like, oh, it's because you're fat. No, it's in my blood. It has nothing to do with being fat or skinny. It is a blood disorder, point blank period. I could be 100 pounds dripping wet. It's what it is. I got cousins who almost 100 pounds dripping wet, and they get clots bad. So that's that. But the Ozempic has started working, and I can now walk around the house for the most part without the cane. I was doing the rollator to the car. If I'm doing like short hops. So if I'm going just briefly in a store and I'm going to have a basket, I don't bring the rollator. I don't need it. However, when I go to work, I take the rollator because I need to get around the company, go to the bathroom, go to the break room. There's a lot of walking from the garage so I need the rollator. Where I still am having problems, not so much in the knee, is my back. My lower back is jacked. That could be trucking. That could have been from the seat. It could be a multiple different things, but my lower back, and it still could be the weight in the stomach because I still have the weight in the stomach. I still have a huge hernia. Because I was having stomach issues, I wanted to get into a gastro doctor. I had got referrals from my doctor I'm at through this group called Honor Health. The treatment was very questionable. I almost wonder if they wanted to treat me. Maybe because of this, or maybe because I'm fat, or maybe a combination of both. Because there was a lot of lack of communication. Oh, we left messages. No, you didn't. I got your first message. I ain't getting any other messages, and I've left you multiple. Then when I hit you up through the portal, you're gonna tell me you left all these messages. The other issue is when I talked to you face to face, you told me that you could schedule a colonoscopy on a Monday with the gentleman who was a doctor that I was assigned to. Then later on, once you told me everything's approved from my doctor, you then tell me, oh, well, he don't have a schedule on that time. He only have these days. I'll call you back when, Then add more insult to injury. You tell me your approval that you need to get from my doctor is a whole doctor. I don't even know who that is, from 2 years ago. Why are you going to a doctor from 2 years ago that's not my regular doctor? And my regular doctor is the one who referred me to you. No, you playing games. And at first I was doing it okay, you take it as, okay, this could be, a mistake. But when you got multiple mistakes, what that can be is discriminatory, whether it's your weight, whether it's your ethnicity, the area that this particular place is. Exactly. And child, Pez, that's what I'm gonna just call you Pez. Pez, that's what the heck I did. That's what the heck I did. So God is good, because as I started to weigh everything in the balance and become frustrated and think about it, I'm like, let me go ahead, and I'll reach back in my head because I'm 50 something, but my first colonoscopy was in my 30s, very shortly after the blood clots, and I had the big tumor. So I was having issues way back then. And we older now, I don't care. To me, everybody grown with blood in my stool. So I was sent to a colonoscopy doctor or a gastro doctor early. I went to a gentleman here in Arizona called Singh. I went to his office. It's phenomenal. I think he's from India. I love me some doctors from India, Asia. I ain't gonna lie on you. Middle East, y'all the truth. I ain't gonna lie on you. Some of my ones here in America, y'all too entitled, and it's about the money. Whereas those people, they already know the obstacles they got to obtain, so they really get their skill set down. Y'all my peoples. I love you. So I absolutely, I contacted my old colonoscopy doctor. God is good. Y'all watch how God is. See, when folks is trying to do evil, when folks is trying to do evil, God will work it out for you. So I happened to call my old doctor's office, and I go on to find, because I was like, his name came back in my mind. I was like, oh, this Dr. Singh. I go look him up. Same offices, right? He used to do the whole, first time he did it in the hospital across the street. Second time, he actually had it set up in his offices. And I didn't do the third time with him because I guess he had partnered with someone, and they have offices in which they do these procedures opposed to the hospital. Well, he got a whole bunch of partners since I've been to his offices. I didn't know he got a slew of folks, all of which are from foreign countries, or at least a foreign ethnicity background. I was like, okay, Lord, because when I got to the door, I saw a litany of names. Some were from India. Some sound like they were Middle Eastern, either Jewish or Muslim. What else did I have? I have several from India, several that came from different, it looked like Asian countries. I was like, okay, he done got all the minority folks from the other countries, and they done set up a partnership. I'm okay with this. So they had originally set me up with this dude, and when I looked at the name, he's either Jewish or Middle Eastern. He's either Jewish or maybe Muslim. One of those two, I'm thinking. Middle Eastern in some form by the name, right? So when I looked at it, I was like, okay, I'm going to go in here. And I was not happy because I really wanted Singh. So I set up an appointment. They got me in. I went back and talked to this man. Y'all, let me tell you how good God is. The people that I was referred to from my main doctor that's part of their group to their other so there's a group, like it's a group it's a group, and they all refer within that group, right? So they refer me to one of their gastro doctors in the group network, in the network of that group. Now, it's not under my insurance. My insurance will pay for it because I have a PPO, so I can go to in-network or out-of-network, don't matter. But they had referred me to theirs within the group, okay? So actually, before I went to this appointment, me and my regular physician, I told him what I was experiencing at the referral doctor, and he's Latino, and he said, Shannon, normally when you're feeling that, it's normally true. And he said, and you should not have this much problems to get in and get something done. That's a routine procedure. But God is good. So let me break down what happened. When I walked into the offices, I'm sitting in my car and we always want to tell God what we gonna do. And I'm like, well, Lord, when I get in there, or this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and tell him I won't sing to do the procedure, the colonoscopy, because I know sing. And I don't know who this is, but I'm gonna go see him because that's who they set me up with. I walk in the office, in his, where they meet you and the one where they see their patients. The first thing was his degree from University of California. Okay, that's okay. But the winning ticket was this Mayo Clinic certification that some of his training with. My dude, we in the right offices. Sing, I love you. But me and old boy, we just got a new relationship. Mayo Clinic? I've had a Mayo doctor before. It's a whole other world of experience. Them people know what they're doing. Yeah, I'm gonna go in Mayo. I like you, Sing. But I didn't even think about it. I was in my 30s when Sing did my colonoscopy. So Sing is probably somewhere, he might be in his 70s or 80s. Wait till I tell you about this conversation, Pez. Wait till I tell you about the conversation. So Sing was my old colonoscopy doctor who started this facility. And I guess has all these now partner doctors working in that office. So these people are probably much younger than him because obviously if I was 30 and he's a doctor, you can estimate he's between 40 and 50 after his training, right? Which would make Sing, I'm gonna estimate 70, best case scenario in his 60s. Worst case scenario, 70s to entering into the 80s, right? Because we're talking, he did this in his 30s. I did this in my 30s. I'm 57, so that's 27 years later from the last time I saw him. So if that's the case, he easily could be somewhere between 60 and 70 years old, maybe 80 at the worst. So the gentleman says, oh, it's very nice to meet you. I see that Sing treated you before. I was like, yeah. He says, why were you getting colonoscopy so early? I told him what happened. And he goes, okay, makes sense. He says, well, the colonoscopies back then were good. I said, yeah, but I'm now 57. During COVID, I didn't get it, so I'm way behind on colonoscopies. I've been having some lower stomach issues. I said, I am on Ozempic, but the stomach issues started prior to Ozempic. And granted, Ozempic does also its own stomach irritations. So he goes, okay. And I said, but it also could be related to my hernias. And he said, hernias. And then I lifted up my shirt and I have a huge hernia at the top. It's huge. And so, and then I have a little hernia that's below. So I have one above the belly button and one below. So I have two hernias. I don't even know what the little one looks like. When they first happened, the little one squeaked and the other one growled. So I'm serious. They made noises. And sometimes he talks now, the big one. So he said, because I told him I didn't want to get all into what I thought was going with the other one. I just said they're having problems scheduling me. That's all I told him. I'm not going to get him involved in that. Plus, you don't want them to be apprehensive because they might think, oh, it's something else. It's not. I think it's this issue. So I told him, I said, I'm having problems getting scheduled in. This gets good. And so he said, what do you mean schedule? I said, well, they're supposed to do a colonoscopy. He said, yeah. Show me your hernia again. Hernia. He said, no. Absolutely not. I said, he said, ma'am, let me explain what you're dealing with. He says, you know the process of a colonoscopy. We're going up looking inside of you with a camera. I said, yeah. He said, the small intestines are tied up all into that hernia you got, and yours is flipping huge. He said, plus you just told me there's a bottom one. He said, that's all tangled up little intestines all in there. He says, that's a high risk of puncture. Mayo Clinic for the win. Mayo, keep talking to me. He says, they didn't talk to you about Cologuard? I said, well, that's, my regular doctor had mentioned it a while back, but she's now retired. So I'm going with, who I have in office. And I said, and she did thought that the regular colonoscopy is better. Yeah, without that size of a hernia. And I said, well, that conversation was prior to the hernia. He's like, yeah. He says, right now, he says, what's safe for you on two levels? You're on a blood thinner and that hernia is huge. He says, until the hernia can be repaired, he said, let's go Cologuard. He said, Cologuard is FDA approved. He says, and normally it's going to tell us if there's DNA or blood in the stool. We're going to find that out. He says, now, if there's something found in that, then yes, we're going to go take the risk to go look at the colon. He says, but if that comes back clean, you go for 3 years without having a colonoscopy. He said, it's very well documented. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. He said, but I am going to see you back in 2 months. And he said, now, as far as the Ozempic, and then he says, we're also going to test me for, it's called H. pylori. So what H. pylori is, it's some kind of bacteria, I guess, in the gut. Pez, see, God works it out for me. God works. I ain't done with this testimony. It's going to get good. So the whole time I'm like, Lord, because the lower stomach, sometimes I get some stuff. It's like, but I think it's either tied to possibly, could be the H. pylori if I have it, or it just could be those 2 hernias. Because when I first got the hernias, my stomach was toe up from the flow up. So it could just be the hernias acting up. I don't know. It could be an ulcer. I don't know. There's no bleeding, so that much we know. There's no blood from the Cologuard. So did the Cologuard, was like, Lord, pray, but if anything come back. Well, I just got Cologuard back. Negative results, all levels. God is good. You said Mayo. You look, Penn said Mayo. When I saw the Mayo on the wall, I was like, oh, I'm in the right office. I ain't gonna say nothing about sing. We cool. Let's find out what the Muslim dude or Muslim Jewish dude is saying. We good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good right now. So what I like when they examine, I like when they explain, I like when they break down all the options, I like when they tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. That didn't happen at the little group place. It did happen here. Now, I haven't wrote my complaint letter, which I'm going to send a complaint letter on them. They got the nerve talking about, oh, we've been trying to get in touch with you in a written format. I got back here in 2019. My phone number is the same phone number in your system that it's been. My doctor's office, who's part of your group, can get a hold of me. I need to understand how you left me a message initially, and now all of a sudden you can't leave no messages. I need to understand that. I need to understand that when I follow up with you in this thing, you say stuff, and then it's like it's vague. You can tell me, and I'm gonna tell them, y'all explain to your major offices, because I'm not gonna file a complaint with them. I'm gonna file it with the overall group place, and I'm gonna send a copy of the letter. I'm gonna have snapshots of the chat that is inside of the app, so I have that too. So you could contact me here. The phone number is the same phone number. You going back to doctors from 2 years ago that ain't my major doctor. I'm very confused as to how you going back 2 years ago to a doctor who's not my major doctor. That that doctor don't even belong to the company, and he's actually not even a regular. He's a cardiologist. Chap, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Pez, homie. And in today's world, y'all got to be on it, because the level of the discriminatory behavior is through the roof. I'm going through the same thing, I think, right now with my school. I am literally 2 credits from my bachelor's degree, y'all. Excuse me, 2 classes from my bachelor's degree. All of a sudden, they say, oh, we need your 1040 for your 2022 taxes. I send them that, okay? Send them everything that had to do with 2022. All of a sudden, these people taking me through an IRS type audit. Oh, you need to redo your taxes and do a 1040X amended and add this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, who goes line by line at the financial aid office through your taxes? But we are in the era of special folks at the high levels trying to tear up the education system, right? And the school I'm going to is a Christian-based school. That was just in lawsuit situations under the prior administration, under the education board, that under this administration, they got off on everything. And they are predominantly this basis. I'm just saying. And I don't know, because I'm going back and research. I can't remember if they're Baptist based, which Southern Baptists have a heavy Racial issue. Yeah. Tanya, I'm sitting up here blown. These people are going, they're auditing my taxes like the IRS. Then they come back saying, oh, we need you to send us a signed copy of the 1040X. Okay, so I did the digital sign, which the IRS takes. The guy who's doing my taxes, he's like, this is crazy. And so, no, they want me to do ink to paper. And so he writes up a letter. He's like, he says, this is unheard of. I will get her blank copies where she can sign them. Do you need them physically mailed to you so you can tell it's ink to paper? Because she did a digital signature on a tablet. That is her actual physical signature. It's just digital. DocuSign, certified. Now the IRS will take it, but you won't. And you to college. So then they make me do it again. So then they go back line by line and like, oh, you missing a certain 1099. The 1099 is from Cash App, where I was just playing with stocks. I ain't make no money. I make zero money. The guy doing my tax, he said, you ain't make no money. What the hell is going on? I was like, this is what's going on. And whatever this in this current group don't want to get an education, that's what they're doing. And so they're trying to block the financial aid. I'm keep going with it. I'm gonna see, because otherwise we're gonna keep going until they see what they tell me. But the company I work for, they do pay for education. The problem is my degree is not part of that program. However, you can petition them to assist. So I don't know. Tuesday I'm gonna talk and find out yay or nay, but I did a petition to them because with these folks, I think they just gonna keep dragging it through the mud, hoping I just come out of pocket and pay for these last two classes. I don't have it. It's like $2,700. I ain't got that right now. It wasn't planned. Had I planned it, be a different story. I didn't plan for this. So it would take me a while because I'm taking care of some other financial aid because we're getting our financial issues. We're getting ready to come up on the chapter 7. So I'm paying my tax guy to make sure all back stuff is done. He's already doing that. On top of that, dealing with this madness from this school. And he's had to go back in and adjust stuff like so many times. So, and I'm paying him like every time he does an adjustment, I'm like, dude, I'm $20. He's like, no, that's fine. And he's like, and this time he says, no, he says, I won't even do it. He said, because they did catch something. He said, but it's so nitpicky. He said, even the IRS didn't come back on this. He said, this is nitpicky. And I said, oh yeah. I said, the goal is not to get your education. And my niece then tells me that the school I'm going to in 2020, so even before the madness we're in right now, she was going to go to their nursing program because their nursing program is really good. She said, but when she started researching it, she found that a lot of African Americans were saying that they were running into racial issues with this institution. Now, to my knowledge, I hadn't experienced that part. But right now, with this financial aid thing, and because we know old boy is trying to cancel education because he's dumb. So he wants everybody to be dumb in being a dumbness so that they don't have the intelligence to understand foolishness and not have critical thinking. Pez, I love that, critical thinking. So of course you want people to be uneducated, and for minorities you want us back in the fields trying to learn to read and write in the dirt and cutting off hands and limbs and all the other stuff because you want us to be as dumb and ignorant as you are. We're gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna say all of these is dumb and ignorant, but y'all know what I'm saying. If they not intelligent, they want you to be in that vein because obviously an intelligent person, regardless of your ethnicity, can tell that this is a lot of foolishness. And they also wouldn't be promoting lies and deception and buying into it. And really, a lot of them don't believe it. They just because they want to back up their racism. They want to back up their classism and their biases. And they want to back up the fact that, there's a show. I'm a segue for a minute. There's a show. It's called Severance. I don't know if y'all seen it. If you haven't, you might want to watch it. There's a lot of caveats in Severance. And Severance is built on a lot of different functionality, but one is an office environment. And in here, there's a brother. He ends up in a higher position, and there's that he has to kind of report to, but he's in a higher position. Well, he gets analyzed, and his what do you call it? His review was that he used too many big words. Whoever wrote this show, genius, because this is an issue. I want to say this again. He's reporting to this. And his review puts him down because he, meaning the brother, uses too many big words. I'll leave that there, y'all. Y'all catch that. Did y'all catch it? So you may not be intelligent enough to understand his big words. And because he's educated, you don't want to feel less than him with the big words. So you basically want to reduce him to you or beneath you because you don't want using big words. Maybe that's why the education system is getting cut. Because there's other folks who might be more intelligent than you, and you need them to be not as intelligent. That's not a good thing for you. I'm just thinking out the box, y'all. I'm just thinking out the box. Severance, y'all want to go watch that? Yeah, there's a lot of different pieces to that show. Some of it's a little demonic, I'm be honest, in my humble opinion. But if you look at it from the corporate side of things, that show is speaking some truth. If you look at it from some of the racial and class side of things, that show is speaking some truth. If you look at it from a greed side of things, that show is speaking. It has various. So for me, the way my brain is, I need something to challenge it. And when I watch stuff, I can't watch foolishness. So that show, it has so many pieces to the puzzle. It keeps my interest because I'm figuring out puzzle pieces as I'm watching it. And I'm like, okay, oh, wow. And so, because I don't like stupid shows. Some people just watch mindless stuff. I cannot. Absolutely not. I can't do it. Anyway, so gastro doctor, the colonoscopy came back good. I got to go do the H. pylori test, which I guess is a breathing test, in order to find out if you have some sort of a bacteria in your stomach. I'll be doing that because I'm in office this week. Yep, and I got the thing right here. So I'm hoping they will, and my regular doctor is there and they have a lab. So I'm going to go take this there and go do the H. pylori, plus check my blood thing too, my blood thinner, and where I'm at there. But other than that, that's going good. Work, we've got some things going on. I obviously can't get into a lot here, but my last team manager got a lateral promotion, so he's not my team manager, which I'm totally depressed about because I love his style. He actually trained the last team manager I had before the one I had who was cray. So I got a new team manager. I got to see how we fit in each other. He says he's very direct. I'm very direct. He's like, oh, we're going to get along great. Well, yeah, maybe not. Two direct people sometimes can clash. So obviously I got to reel back because he's the boss. So right now I just said I'm just going to go into my my introverted self. And some people meet me and they don't know. Yes, I do have an introverted side and I have an extroverted side. I am in a group of people. I'm more of an extrovert. I know how to interact. But when I'm by myself, I don't have a problem being by myself whatsoever. Because I have a friend of mine, he just recently ticked me off. My 57th birthday, I was like, oh, we might, because it's usually a small group of us, we go do something. I said, we might go and I might do hot pot or I might do the casino. And I'm not like a major gambler, so I'm not the slot machine person. That's not me. What I do like to do at casino is bingo. And I don't go to really play. I go watching the old people. Now, I'm one of the old people, but they get really upset when folks win, and they're entertaining. It's like live television, watching them and hearing them fuss. And yeah, it's absolutely entertaining. And you get free soda, and I get unlimited. Well, not unlimited, but I get nachos. I usually love to eat my nachos with the jalapenos. I don't know if I can do that right now because my stomach, like I said, has been doing some weirds. And then you also have restaurants in there. And they have, in some of the casinos, they have some really good restaurants. So my thought process was, let's go to the restaurant and then maybe we go after hours and play a couple games of bingo. I'm not a major gambler. I haven't been to a casino in forever. Matter of fact, I'm going to say I'm not really, other than bingo. Because most games to me are like, I don't know. That slot machine, I think that's all it's set up, right? Bingo, I figure that can be random enough. And maybe they got a way to fix it too. I don't know. You call some numbers, they check them off. Somebody gets them in a row. Bam, you got a little bit of change. I think bingo could just be fun and mindless. And so he came off kind of well, if it's going to be at the casino, I'm not going to go. Well, I tell you what, you ain't got to worry about going because I ain't inviting you to nothing I'm doing the way you just snapped off. You good. You good, homie. You gonna stay home and do whatever the heck you doing. Love him dearly, but lately, and I think he's coming into the old angry person mode. He's 68, 69. He's good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I like. Well, you know they have restaurants in there too. So I know they used to have at some of the casinos. They have buffets. And you drive trucks, so you know we park in casinos. You go in there and get you a good meal. Matter of fact, up in Portland, Oregon, on your way into Oregon, I think it's Seven Feathers. They got trucker breakfast special. My God, park over there, go to the breakfast special, and back then I don't know, it was under $10, like five, maybe I don't know, $5, $10. Good breakfast, great, and then they had like the dinner buffets. Yeah, the Oklahoma one too. There's Oklahoma one, the Choctaw Casino. I would go to their buffet, and you know that's why a lot of truckers are fat. We know where to eat, and you on budget, man. Yeah. So and they had a shuttle. So you parked at the truck stop over at the Choctaw Casino, the Choctaw truck stop. I had a shuttle that picked you up at the truck stop and took you to the casino where you could eat, gamble, whatever. I'm going for the food. And they took me over there. I ate my little food, and then they took you back to your truck. You get your shower and go to bed. It's your friend. It was your friend. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. And we might do something else. Hot pot I like, but I've done it before. Oh, Route 66. I like Route 66. I think there's two different ones. I always get them kind of mixed up. If you go further down, there's the one with the Dairy Queen. I've never been inside of the big casino, but I always went to the one with the Dairy Queen in there, and they had the store in there with the pickles. So they had the Kool-Aid pickle, and they had the Dairy Queen. What else did they have? It was a couple things inside of that one. I would go to that, but I never actually went inside the casino for the buffet. I was always a stop for me, but I love that Dairy Queen in there. I forgot there was a sandwich. They used to have a barbecue type sandwich I used to get at that Dairy Queen, and there was something else I would get there at that particular casino. I'm trying to think if it's the one with the arrows. I know that they got the separate truck thing. And then they got the building, the big, tall, skinny building in neon. Because there's two different. I don't know why I thought there were two, because I always got confused. It's right as if if you're heading into Albuquerque, it's as you drop down. It's like the casino before you hit Albuquerque on the right hand side. I think that's the Route 66 one. I could be wrong, because they got several along that path. But I like that one. And I know they had a Dairy Queen in there. I would go, and they have a little casino in that little Dairy Queen Plaza store where the fuel aisle is. The one thing they didn't have, they don't have showers. I don't think they have showers. I don't think they have showers. I don't think they have showers, because I've never taken a shower there. I know they had like a truck driver casino, but I don't think they have showers in that one. But like I said, they had that Dairy Queen. I love that Dairy Queen. The Dairy Queen was great. And I never went to the casino itself, the big casino where the hotel was. I never went in there, but I know that they supposedly had a buffet. I just never went in there. It was a walk. I was tired, and by the time you get done, and then I'm always on my next load. So normally when I was going there to sleep. I'd sleep and then hit it. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Those ones, but I remember the Choctaw Casino because my grandma's Choctaw, and I remember that one and I remember they would have the shuttle take you over, and I remember eating there. I remember this. I think it was Seven Feathers on the way up on the way up to Portland, and they had the trucker breakfast, and I remember that. Was the hotel is on the land? The one I'm remembering is on the land, but it's independent. So you have the truck. If I'm thinking of the right one, because I know one's Route 66, and I sometimes get them confused. Who's got great videos? Who's got great videos? Tell me who's got great videos. Tiny, tell me who's got great videos. And who else? Oh, you missed me driving. Probably because I'm really sarcastic. And I'm getting older. My sarcastic and cynical, child, they hand in hand. And the older I'm getting, and I think it is as we get older, it's my friend, I can tell he's angry old man right now. I'm just really less tolerant of foolishness. Look, I can be by myself. Bruh, you ain't hurt my feelings. You ain't got to come to that. But he popped off like it was going to control where I chose to have my birth. No, Ninja, you won't get invited. Even if I don't go to the casino, you ain't get invited to nothing. Because you popped off the wrong way. So you go on over there and sit in your angry old man corner. You ain't hurting my feelings. And my buddy Linda, I love Joe, but hey, it is what it is. But I'm going with you to eat. Because you're funny. And Linda funny too. Linda crazy. Yeah, yeah. And the student ones is the ones. Sometimes I have to go back. The P. Wimpy Leadfoot, that one right there. Man, I think that's my funniest video to me was P. Wimpy Leadfoot. That dude right there. I don't know if I'll ever forget him. And then I had the one who was playing video poker, and then the African chick. I'm gonna say them is probably my top worst students. Yep. The African chick who couldn't drive an automatic truck and rode backwards on Raton Mountain. It's not even a mountain. It's like a little hill. And then the one who was playing video poker with his girlfriend going into Oregon. And then the P. Wimpy Leadfoot who was messing with the married chick, talking about the old man was running her. Pez, facts. Homie, facts. You just, I'm old now. That's like even work right now. I used to do all the corporate games and trying to be all political. Am I doing my job? Yes. Oh. My agreement says I do this job and you put that money in the account. What do? I do this job and you put that money in the account. Yeah, look, y'all already got a whole bunch of ratchet folk up in here. I can already tell. I had one girl talk to somebody the other day. I had to kind of, I tried not to snap my head and look back because it was so ghetto how she said to this customer. I was like, wow, okay. She talking to him, and I guess she could tell they had an accent, and she could tell they weren't understanding. This is how she said, what language you speak? It's a sister. She from Texas. I was like, and another black girl who guesses on her team, she said her name, she said girl. And she did it jokingly, but what she was trying to do was say, sis, you just came out to the side of your neck to a customer in a very unprofessional manner. Because what language you speak? And the inflection, the comment was like, wow. And look, I almost snapped, and I was like, okay, this ain't your business. And she be sitting there on her other cell phone at work, having conversation with family members, I guess on her earbuds. Ratchet. Then we want to talk about when I go to the break room, and the other thing I can't stand, y'all, and I don't care. I think it's ghetto. It's folks who talk on their cell phones on speaker. That is the most ratchet thing ever. Where my pocket? Now these are expensive ones. So these is one set. These are the Beats ones. They're really good noise canceling. But I got some cheaper ones over here in the corner. You see, I got some cheaper ones in the cut. Okay? I'm sorry. I got a problem. I don't want to hear your conversation with your child, your dude, your mama, your cousin, the dog. I don't want to hear that. I got to hear you maybe talking from your earbuds to them. But I done heard conversations I don't want to hear. I heard one hook chick, I could tell she basically was making a draws appointment. She making an appointment to go sleep with some ninja. And the way she did it was like, oh my God, you are ratchet. All in my company office, where I work currently, in the break room, openly. People walking in and out the break room, and it don't take a genius to know you basically talking about him getting your draws. I cannot. Absolutely not. It's they don't care. And my friend Linda, she does. I had to tell her, take me off speakerphone. I don't like, I said, I'm going to get you some beer. She has them. It is a thing they do, and it's just normal to them. And and my plate niece Vicky, who works for my company, She even does it as far as work. And like she's putting the people through the computer speaker to have her. I was like, absolutely not. You lucky I ain't your manager. Let me become a TM. Let me become a team manager. We gonna have a come to Jesus meeting. I'm gonna tell them the company gave you a headset for a reason. You can get yourself a wireless headset if you want to. You can get yourself, but I don't want to hear where I'm hearing echoes. I call one of the ladies who's, so we have our positions are different. So we have what we call claims associates and claims specialists. Claims specialist is a higher position than me. I have to transfer to them when it deals with certain things. So I go to transfer this woman. She on speakerphone. I hear her kids. I hear the dog. I hear her dude. All this in the background, and you answer the phone, talk to a business customer, a regular customer. Do you know how ghetto that is? You know how ratchet that is. But that's the mindset of a generation of people, and there's some my age who do it. It's just a ghetto ratchet thing. I cannot. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And they give you a headset for free. Give you a laptop, give you a headset. Everything you need to do the job. Keyboard. I'm really struggling. I'm struggling to understand why in the hell you're on speaker. It's the worst thing ever. Business to business, or even if you're talking to a customer. Now, internally, and you doing like a conference internally, no problem with that. But when you're doing business, customer-based business, customer, I'm going to say facing, not meaning you may be looking at them, but customer facing, they may be talking to you. You should be on a headset, not on speaker. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're calling to another business, you should be on a headset. I won't tell you the times I talk to law firms, I talk to body shops, and these people have you on speaker and you sitting up there trying to hear people. It's absolutely obnoxious. It's facts. Tanya, it's just ghetto as hell. It's ghetto and it's unprofessional. It's ghetto with just your regular day-to-day life. It's very unprofessional when it comes to a business. I'm like, what in the, and they treat it, and it's as if, and then a lot of, like, my niece love her, but she wants to justify behaviors. Oh, well, doesn't your headset? No, my headset don't do that, and yours doesn't either. But if you are having a problem with the headset, our company offers a vending machine for you to go and replace equipment if it's jacked up. Child, go tell that story to somebody else. Stop playing with me. You need to go tell that to somebody else. You lying. None of that's happening. You lying. Absolutely not. Anyway, I was going to tell y'all why I was late, because I was late coming in here. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace in the bathroom, and I've been looking because I have a new desk that's been sitting in the box. I'm trying to find a map that I want to go over, like a world map that goes like my centerpiece for the front of my desk, like on the wall. Because my wall for my desk looks just like this wall behind me. It's blank. Nothing there. Again, wall is concrete. So I was going to get some, what do you call it? A map, which I've seen a couple that I like. One of them I liked right off, but it's so like, boom, it was gone. By the time I was going to have to loot and get there to meet the person. And me and Marketplace, we've been having friendships lately. I done got me a new coffee press through Marketplace. I just picked up 2 pictures for free. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because y'all won't be, child. These pictures, I don't know if y'all heard of a place we have them here in Arizona called Z Gallery, okay? Yeah, see, the map thing, the world map, I think that's a nice office type picture. And I found some with different colors. I had found one that I liked that with the background was blue, and I forgot it was like some gold and something of the shapes of the countries. Loved it. Now I found another one that's not blue, because I got one with a wood background, and I think it's like a silver of the countries. And then there's one I just saw recently. I've reached out, but I haven't heard back, so I don't know if they already got rid of it and sold it. But tonight I'm in the bathroom, and I'm looking at the pictures for maps. And 2 black, and I love black and white, so y'all know if I like black and white photos. And so, and I did photography back in high school, and I did black and white. So I have a thing for black and white photos. I just think they're classic. I like color stuff too, but there's a classic look about a black and white photo, right? So sure enough, I'm on there and I'm scrolling through, and it says free. And they show 2 black and white framed photos. And then it says Z Gallery. Well, before I even saw the Z Gallery, I love the photos. And so as soon as I went to go look at the description, it's like he had originally had asked $20, and then he just moved it to free and said, I'm remodeling and I don't need them. And so I got on there and I said, where are you located? And they said, and they gave me the location, which is less than 15, 20 minutes from my house, if that, if even that, right? And I was like, oh, I'm on XYZ location. If this is really free, I'm very interested. What's the address? And so they put the address, and I said, I can leave right now and grab them. Will you be available? And they said, we'll just sit them out on the porch. Y'all, the tags from Z Gallery are still on the back of these pictures, and they're in immaculate condition. Glass frame, wood frame, Z Gallery. I used to buy furniture when I worked at Schwab from Z Gallery. Z Gallery is pricey. Them freaking pictures, and I got 2 pictures. $80 a piece, 79 and change a piece. My God is good. FREE, free, sitting on the porch. And all I did, because before I bring anything in, and even though it was a very, very nice house, so where I'm at, this district I'm in, y'all forgive me the nose. Hopefully y'all ain't seeing no friends hanging out. Y'all let me know. Hold on, where's my disinfectant? So I live in an area, it's kind of a mixed bag, okay? So initially, I lived near the downtown Phoenix area. And most of it has now become college towns because what they did, which was genius. So I grew up between Phoenix and Tempe. Tempe is my home city because I was born in Tempe. I have no idea why. But I grew up initially in the early part of my life in Phoenix near my grandparents because that's where my mom was living. And then we later ended up all the way back in my home city of Tempe, okay? Tempe is a college town, okay? That's Tempe. Their biggest booming business in Tempe initially was the university. Then we had a lot of semiconductor places there. And now you got call centers, things like that. So Tempe is a pretty good, it was a tech area too, a little bit, that's Tempe. So Tempe, but its major draw was Arizona State University. Well, Phoenix, downtown Phoenix used to be extra ratchet. So I don't know who got the idea and if they patterned it after Tempe, but they first then put the ballpark up in there. So they have we have the Diamondbacks. I think it's Diamondbacks. I don't know. I'm not into baseball. I think it's Diamondbacks. Whoever, the baseball team. They got a stadium. After doing that, they started bringing in the universities, which was smart. And they did satellite campuses for Arizona State University, Northern Arizona University, and the University of Arizona. So they put all 3 universities, satellite campuses, downtown Phoenix. Changed the whole game plan of Phoenix. So now you draw in all the college students, you draw in their families when they come look. So we now got the hotels that have bumped the game up. We've got I call them the prisons, the apartments that these kids want to call my condo, which is you rent an apartment. You got the high-rise prison apartments is what I call them because they look like a bunch of prisons to me. They all cookie cutter. You got that. Well, also, this area is famous for its historical districts where I'm at. And this district, actually, historical districts tend to be gay pulling. So I got all my little rich gay boys down here too, right? So you got a lot of the historical districts down here in this area. So it's really genius what they did. And so some of these houses down here that are old cottage style homes, these properties are $500,000 to $1 million plus all around me. And then one of the school districts here, which is a very financial, because when I would pass it, they're right next to me. It's a major school district. And they would say, oh, we're giving free laptops to their students. I'm like, they're giving free laptops to your students? The heck? What y'all doing? And then I had to think, hey, you're living in a district, even though my apartment complex is not all that fancy. You living in an area where the houses around you, some of these homes are 500,000 plus into the mill range because it's historical districts. My dentist, they have, and then north of here was a lot of old money, old white folks money. And then there's also a big Jewish community around here too. So you got all that sitting here. So I'm like, okay. So when I rolled up to this crib, I'm like, oh, that's a nice crib. And I went and got my little pictures, but I don't care, nice crib, no crib. I put them in the back. So what I do, I keep a bug spray in my house, and I've been keeping it for a long time whenever I go. It's Harris, and it's Harris. It's the bed bug spray. Anything coming in his house, because if it'll kill a bed bug, it'll kill a roach, it'll kill a spider, it'll kill anything. And I sprayed them pictures down, and they're sitting back on the back porch. They'll come in a few. But the first thing we did is spray the back. But they look pretty good, in pretty good condition. But even though you got a nice crib, I don't trust critters. I don't want no critters. So I had to take care of that. But anyway, yeah. So 2 pictures, $80. What I'll do, I'll see if I can take pictures, and I'll put them up in the community tab so y'all can see what they look like. But yeah, Facebook Marketplace. So I also got me a French press. My French press broke. I had like a cheap one from Amazon back in the day. It broke, so I've been needing a new one. And I didn't know, I think it's called Bagliette. I knew them for Italian mocha pots. I didn't know they did French presses. Well, this little girl had one for $10, brand spanking new with the paper still in it. And I was like, oh, can you meet me at $10? Yep, you got a deal. And I think she was asking more, and I said, would you take 10? So I think she was asking 15 or 20, and I said, hey, I got $10 cash. Would you take that? And she's like, oh, yeah. She met me up there near Starbucks, and we exchanged. I gave her $10. She gave me the thing. So love it. Great. I'm trying to get, there's a mocha pot on here. It's 12 cups by Bagliette. And I think he was asking 25, and I offered him 15. And instead of countering, he didn't come back with a counter, because I would have paid him 20. But if you don't counter, I'm just going to shut up and wait and see if you sell it or not, or if you're going to come back and say, hey, you still interested? So, or if you lower it, and I come back and say, hey, would you take 15? And then say no, and then I might say, okay, I'll pay you 20. But since he came back talking about it's way too low, okay, I'm just gonna kick back in the cut, because you're not the only you're not the only mocha pot they selling on here. There's a bunch. And last I saw, he ain't sold it off yet. Instead, you should just come back and say, I won't take 15. Can you do 20? I would have done 20. Homie, you got to play the game. But he ain't playing. So it's still sitting there. We'll just follow it. But right now I've been looking for the thing for the desk. And then everything here, I got a rug for the desk. I got a whole desk setup that I want to do. But haven't done it yet. So, but also my mobility was down. So my mobility is snapping too. So now that it's snapping too, we might likely do it. Next week I'm in office. Or this week I'm in office. And yeah, I got to get ready. But other than that, so I was going to ask y'all how y'all feeling about the whole issue with everything going on with the No Kings and the weird thing with all the tanks in Washington, D.C. I should have asked Tanya. I think she might not be on here. I don't know if you're still on here, Tanya. How was Tank Parade Day? I sit here. It's me. Wow. Is this ninja for real? He for real. And it didn't turn out like, see, when you have that level of narcissism, God does show you things. And again, there's a level of, when you're dealing with narcissism, and my father was a narcissist. I feel sorry for him. I know some people don't like it because I say I feel sorry for him. I do. My father was a narcissist. It's a psychological break, and it's caused by a major trauma from your childhood. That's how they end up where they at. It's major psychological issues, and based on things that we find out about his childhood, it all makes sense. So I do feel sorry for him. Don't mean that I approve. It just means I feel sorry for him. But I feel sorry for a lot of folks who don't deal with their crazy. I'm just saying. And there's a lot of folks that don't deal with their crazy. That's what's going on right now. And as a matter of fact, I was going to say this. I had seen, so to me, everything that's happening is happening for a reason. You feel me, Pez, right here. So right now, when everybody's looking at it, okay, these many people voted for him. I don't even care about that part. Well, yes and no. My issues are the people who are behind him and the whys. Now, God will put who he wants in place, because through that, God teaches people's lessons. That's what he's done even in the Old Testament. He taught lessons through captivity and the rulership that the Jewish folks, which were his first chosen, were under. And then as we bridged in, there's life lessons you're going to get. And so what's happening right now is a lesson for America. We're arrogant, we're entitled, we're self-privileged, we're classist, we're racist. I probably got more to that list, but that's what I could just think of off the top of my freaking head. And so to me, what he did was, it's a mirror. There was a mirror that has been put up, and people can choose to either pay attention or not. But the problem is that because Americans are so self-entitled, self-indulged, self-will. It's about them and it's my way. That's a huge right now for a lot of people. Everybody's on these different facets. So if you're black, well, y'all gonna FAFO. Y'all find out and we just gonna sit back in the cut. Oh well. And then for the Latino community, who for some of them that thought they was better than other folks, even their own folks, now all of a sudden you reaching back to these people who you thought you were better than us because you were just a little bit shades lighter than us. And now they hauling you off like you dogs off the street. And now you like, hey, black folk, we need to become friends again and understand we rowing in the same boat. Oh, we rowing in the same boat? I thought you was better than me. I got Latinos in my family. I'm just keeping them 100. But I'm just talking about the attitudes that are out there, right? And other groups, Asians, Middle Eastern folks, the Pakistani people. We ain't gonna vote for old girl for whatever their reason is. And now all of a sudden you seeing how old boy is treating you. You know, he picking y'all up and sending y'all elsewhere and no telling where he doing. And not doing what you want to do and told the other country, hey, blow them out of hell. I'm just saying. So the reasoning has always been self-centered. It's about me. Then you have the other folks like this, some who they didn't know, they already knew he was cray-cray, and others who wanted to side because they felt better than, they want to be better than, and they felt everybody, Latinos, blacks, or was less than them, and they taking their jobs and everything, and you know, you gonna take care of me because I'm one of you. Oh, but you're not really one of them. Because even though you may be of the same racial group, which I hate race, your class level is not at his level. So he don't give a good doggone about you. And I'm going to help you out. Narcissists really don't even care about people in their same class. They care about themselves. I can tell you that because of my biological father. It's been like that for years. It used to be back in the day, Latinos and blacks, when I was a kid, we realized we were rowing in the same boat. But then there was there was something that transacted, and I really believe, again, that privilege attitude that they got treated maybe a little better because they weren't as dark as we were. And so therefore they started feeling better than us. But the sad part is they're getting a wake-up call even within their own ranking. So when you say Latino, for example, it's a spectrum, right? So it means somebody from a Latin-speaking country with some kind of probably Hispanic type or Spanish type roots, right? Let's talk about them Cubans down in Florida. They don't see themselves on the level of other Latinos. They don't even really see themselves as Latino as much as they do. They feel they're white, okay? I watched, and I'll see if I can find it and post it in the community page. Facts. And I got Mexican folks all in my family. I got cousins that look like they just. My niece does not look black. She's half black, half Mexican. She looks Mexican. She don't look black. So, one of my nieces. So, well, a couple of my nieces on my father's side. My brother, whose ex-wife was half Mexican and half black, those kids look black. They look a lot like my brother. So, but I was watching this show, and this is how deep I had to shut it off because the guy made me mad. And it's a newscast. He used to be in the news industry, and I think he's just doing podcasts now. And he was interviewing this Cuban, I guess, who had been a representative or something for Florida. And the guy was interviewing. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If I find it, I'm gonna put it up in my community tab. So y'all just be looking, because if I find it, I'll post it. So he's interviewing this Cuban dude who represents the Cubans in Florida. Wait for it. So I'm sitting there, I'm listening. And he begins to talk about how, in a sense, with the deportation situation going on, basically what he was summing up was that he didn't understand because they were given the first path to citizenship because they from Cuba and they had done XYZ for the United States. Wait for it. He says, and we're lighter complected. What you say now? So you just said that you're better than your other Latino counterparts. And therefore, it would be okay if they haul them off. But you're lighter complected, therefore, you're closer to the white characteristic. So, therefore, they shouldn't be messing with you. I'm done. Who took away from their celebration? Oh, well, Tanya, it used to be more so Black History Month. In a sense, all this has gotten confused. I wanted the Black History Month. Let's see. I don't think this is one. I could be wrong. Now you might be talking about the one who started the racist group, the Proud Boys. I ain't talking about him. This is actually some representative dude. I'll put it up there. I'll put it up there. His thing wasn't even about them. That it wasn't even about. It's not his. So this is where I'm saying the focus is wrong. Everybody wants to believe that it is aimed at a specific group. Yes and no. When he's doing what he's doing for the Latinos, that's for a different reason. So a lot of it is their population is too big, which is intimidating for this because honestly, with the numbers they have, they are a majority. And if we join together, the minorities in this country, we outrank this. The only issue is this has the power. They know that. So the thing is that we need to get these baby making factories of the Latino folks up out the U.S. That's why they talking about babies a lot. That's why they talking about, oh, we're going to pay more money for you to have a baby. They ain't talking about Black folks and Latino folks. They don't want us having no kids. One of the reasons Planned Parenthood is usually in a predominantly Black or minority neighborhood. They don't want us having kids. They talking about them. That's what they talking about. They don't want us having kids. Their population is not growing. But the group that does pop out kids and have large families, Latino people tend to have large families. It's part of their culture. It's what they do. And so for certain folks, that's scary because I don't want to give them power. I want the power. That's one. And then as far as his birthday celebration, a narcissist does not care about anybody but themselves. It's not about, it's about me, me, me. Everybody else around them is irrelevant. It's not specific. It's about them. It's about anything to get them attention, good attention, bad attention, any attention they love. It doesn't matter. Even if it's negative attention, it's attention. That's why when, was it the 6th or whatever happened, when the pink people was hanging on the Capitol, that's why he sat back in the cut. He was thoroughly enjoying it because it was all about him. Look at what they doing for me. Didn't care if they died, killed, didn't care. It wasn't about them. It was that they were doing it for him. It was attention about him. He was the focus. That little thing out there had nothing to do with the army. He don't care about no army. He basically told everybody what he thought of military people. He don't care. It was just so it could be about him. That's what it was about. Tanks rolling around on the street. It wasn't about the army. It wasn't celebrating the army. It was a justification to spend all that money to focus on him. That's a narcissist. You have to understand. It's not about Black, well, in the grand scheme of things. Right now with that whole thing, it had nothing to do with anything other than it's about me. Even the thing he's doing right now with the pulling the Latinos off the street, his behind the scenes racial crew, for them, it's about racism on that level. For him, he feels that's that dictator, I'm important, I'm this big bad dude. That's attention, even if it's bad attention. You're dealing with a narcissist, and a severe one. My biological father was a narcissist, and one who was really, they got some evil and wicked stuff in them. Anything to get them attention is a win for them. Sick, twisted as it may be, that's a win for them. They're a different cup of tea. Different cup of tea. I'm just saying. So, I don't know that I think it was specific to take it off of a specific group. He don't care about those other groups. They're already in his mind irrelevant. Anything that he does is going to be about him. So anything he's doing right now is to make sure that the people that worship him continue to worship him. He don't really care how it happens, just as long as it happens. And then as far as that Epstein and the was it Musk and him getting into it, and oh, you gonna tell me he was in? Nobody. Well, you have to be dumb as hell to be shocked that he was in it, or that he that he was, to be shocked like, oh, he was in that and you're shocked. No, you dumb as hell. First of all, let me help you out with something. Anytime an individual, and if true, I'm gonna say if, and I feel sorry for him, goes to a person who is in a certain field, prostitute, whatever, stripper, whatever she was, and tell them that they remind you of their daughter, that right there should tell you everything you need to know. That statement in and of itself should tell you everything. You don't have to be in an Epstein file for me to know what I know. That statement, if true, if you said that, tells me everything I need to know in conjunction with you and children. Everything. It tells me the mindset. And I pray that that's not, I would pray it's not the truth. But would I be shocked? No, because if that aligns and it's true and that conversation happens, everything already tells me who you are. It tells me how you look at kids. Yeah, it tells me exactly how you look at children. And, like I said, I pray I'm wrong. I pray because I don't like pervs. I grew up with a perv. And I pray I'm wrong. But if you said that, well, I don't need to know nothing about Epstein. That in and of itself tells me everything else. Because any male who says, oh, I want to screw a woman who reminds me of my daughter, 2 and 2 equal 4. You got something really twisted going off in your brain. I'm just saying. That's twisted. It's twisted. That's weird. So, yeah. Yeah. And see, a lot of people don't think, again, that goes to that critical, you talking about the critical thinking. Oh, well, he was in this, okay. Well, first of all, they've been trying to hide it. It's like Puffy, or this P. Diddy madness. There's a whole bunch of folks up in that madness. We ain't seeing everybody. Palms have possibly been greased to keep folks secret up in that madness. Ministers and everything else up in that madness. Some palms are being greased to keep some stuff on the DL. You and I, all of us know it. That baby was off the cheddar. He's off the chain. He crazy. And there's a whole bunch of them stars that was up in that madness in various ways. No. I'm watching some Christian stuff right now with a whole bunch of pedophilia and all sorts of wickedness going on. God is he's peeling back layers and exposing stuff. And that's the thing. But the other thing is, God, how does that reflect on me? What is it about my attitude that I may need to change? You're basically showing us and have us here for a reason. What are we supposed to be learning? And people aren't learning. Instead, they're self-centered. Yes, the Latinos and the blacks need to join up because this is going to be madness. And yes, this is some pink people business. Y'all need to go deal with your pink person. And you need to deal with not only him, you need to deal and teach your other ones who got this racial bias. And now you're sitting up there, and I guess he's pulled back some things. We're going after the Latinos who work in the meat packing plants and in the fields. And grocery bills going up. Oh, you can't go somewhere and eat. Oh, because you're messing with because I'm some hardworking people. The Latino community, them is some hard. I've picked up from farms in the truck. I've seen the migrant workers in the field. And remember, slavery, we used to do some of that. There's some hardworking folks. That's some hard labor working. I got friends of mine who grew up in migrant families. That's some hard work. And you going up there snatching folks. And now, because you got a group of folks, and the same folks who employ these folks are the same ones that got the nerve to be racist against them. It's absolutely astounding. Tell y'all a quick story and I'm going to get off of here. I was working for University of Phoenix back in the day. And so I worked in the enrollment center. So that's where you would send in, if you're online, to go to school. I believe the gentleman was a migrant worker, Latino, and he didn't have no phone. So he used his boss phone. So when I called, I said, hey, I'm trying to reach so-and-so. And I still remember this to this day. So this was back in 2012-ish, right? I'm trying to reach so-and-so. And he said, who is this? I said, University of Phoenix. He says, what are you calling for? I said, well, I'm calling because whenever you fill anything out, it's because they're showing an interest in school. Do not call this number again. Absolutely not. He has the job he's supposed to be doing. Click. That was this. But you want to be them. You want to be them so much, you even want to be better than your own folks. And I didn't know that was in their culture as much as it is, but it's absolutely amazing. And like I said, I kind of paused the last video. I'll put it out later because I got some things going on right now. But I'm not pausing, but I kind of put it on, I let y'all do it live. But if I talk about something and I decide, hey, I only want to post it for a little bit, I'll put it on private and then I'll unleash it later once we get through some stuff. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so they basically told you what they think, but you want to be them, and you think that that's being better than them. That's what Cuban folks. I'm like, man, they coming down and dragging you out. And the head of the Proud Boys, I guess his background is Afro, which Afro would mean Afro-Cuban. Afro usually means African nature, and Cuban, Spanish, Latino, and he's heading an organization of white racism. You can't, you absolutely amazing. I feel bad for everybody involved, but I feel bad because of delusion. And that's really the problem, is that people, as I said in my last week, people like to live in lies and delusion. People cannot go in the mirror and all of a sudden, and the better than thing is huge. That's why the Cubans are where they're at. They feel they're better than other Latinos and other minority groups. My niece Vicky went to Florida, and she went to a Cuban restaurant because she wanted to get the Cuban sandwich. And she said the whole time I was in there, she said, a friend of mine who's from Florida told me, be careful, because they're very racist and they don't like us. How the hell you racist? You Latino. The hell? She said she went in there. She said she could feel it. You could feel it. Absolutely, and that's why you're where you're at. Because that's why these kind of things happen, because you want to be better than somebody else. Absolutely amazing to me. It's astonishing to me how you think you can be better than everybody else. My buddy Joe, he's Mexican, right? His family came over illegally initially. Now, they've all got citizenship, but they came over illegal. And I think it was in Mission, Texas, right? That's how they came over. So they were migrant workers. Well, as they did migrant work, they would sometimes go from one state to another. They ended up in Utah and then finally here in Arizona. So he told me the story of when they found out about Arizona. And he says, I don't want you to take offense, but I want to tell you what happened. I was like, okay. So there was another Mexican family, and they're migrant workers. And, oh, we hear that you can get a lot of work in Arizona and houses are cheap. This is way back when, right? So, but there are black people there. What the hell you say? You Mexican Americans, or Mexican at the time, illegal is how you got here. And you in a field picking stuff and got the nerve to fix your lips as a minority to say, oh, there are black people there, because we're less than you in your mind, and you in the field, illegal, here in the U.S. The ancestry here went through slavery, forced to pick in a field. And you all of a sudden think you better? Now, I'm not saying he in general. He's just telling me the conversation. This is some white people poison. One, I hate the whole term white. Y'all know how I feel about this. We're African American, meaning that we really, not all of us know where our African heritage come from. And I use the American as the other melting pot of whatever that is, because guess what? We probably got a whole bunch of stuff from when Master was in the slave house, raping chicks and everything else warped out that they did. We got all that. And not to mention whatever peoples that we got with here. And it all mixed within what we now call the African American experience. I have a problem. And I also have a problem we got Africans. More dark than we are in some cases. And they feel they better than us. It's absolutely poison. Well, I'm getting ready to get off here because I've been on here for a minute. I'm happy to see you. I'm going to just call you Pez in the Peterbilts. Who do you drive for? And where you at in the country? If you can say who you drive for. You don't have to say it if you can't. Before you go. And then I'm getting off here because I'm got to work tomorrow and I'm going to chill out and have me some semi-dinner and then pass out. And I think Tanya may be gone. And Tanya, it was good to see you if you're not on here. And then whoever else is watching, because we had some people watching. Oh my God, I remember Western Express. Wasn't you guys, I can't remember, were y'all associated with KLM or KLM? I can't remember. I don't know why y'all thought y'all was associated. I needed a sec. Oh, okay. Okay, got you. That's, hey, you gotta do it here. Actually, one of my neighbors, and he actually got evicted, but I guess his daughter lives in one of the other buildings. And he's an older guy. He considers himself I guess he's a car locksmith, but I never really saw the dude do much work. And so eventually, I guess he got evicted. And he's still staying over here with a daughter in another building that's under a different owner. But I saw him yesterday, and he was asking me about going in the truck, and a Latino guy. And so I gave him a background as best I could. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's odd, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know Western Express. I do know them. Nothing wrong with a second chance. Do what you can, and then just move into a... I don't know, if they paying right, you stay there. But if they ain't paying and treating you right, go somewhere else. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm going to get off of here. Be blessed. Pez. And I'll just call you Pez. It's easier. 2 and 2, you be blessed out there on that road. Be safe on that road. Tanya, it was good talking to you. And I'll have to look into the renter's insurance. I haven't done that yet because Tanya is big on the renter's insurance, which actually isn't a bad thing because the guy who got evicted, they tried to bust into his car and set the fence on fire. Okay. Trucker Nikki, she started out with CR England. She did really good. She was training people, and I think she bought her house, and then she got into some other stuff. Right now, she's doing some. She's trying to do the owner op thing, but I don't know. I haven't talked to her to find out where things are at. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2. I might be on. I might do every 2 weeks because sometimes I'm busy. Y'all be praying for me because I'm still dealing with this college thing. Like I said, 2 credits away. I'm not marching, but I do want all the accoutrement. I've earned it. I started going after a college degree in 1986. And these unique folks, I'm just going to say that, unique folk. Anyway, peace, 2 and 2.